disco. I'm just going to say disco, russosbrand.com, where the pros are the pros. I got to tell you guys something. And, again, I'm always, whatever. I swear, guys, I went from Sunday night watching the final episode of The Penguin, which was unfreaking believable television, just unbelievable television.
You should have saved that till after SmackDown.
Well, and then I went to Monday Night Raw. Yeah.
Oh,
listen, I'm going to pose this question at you guys, and let's talk this through, bro. Fuck disco. I'm just going to say fuck disco with this is a good show because they're making a lot of money. Bro, I have never in my life, I don't think I've ever seen a product so horribly bad making a shitload of money. And I'm talking about whether it was a sports franchise, whether it was a food product that just tastes horrible and they couldn't keep it on the shelf. I don't think ever in my lifetime have I ever seen something so bad making so much money. Now, guys, walk me through this because I can be wrong about this. Bin and Stevie, I keep saying week after week after week of bad programming, it eventually has to catch up with them. I mean, it has to catch up with them. Or am I absolutely wrong? And no matter what they put on this television show, they're going to sell out house shows. They're going to sell out overseas. They're going to continue to make a shitload of money regardless of, SmackDown, Raw, the main shows that are out there every week. Because I'm looking at the Newton law of averages. You keep putting out shit shows, it's going to catch up with you. Can I possibly be wrong?
Well, I don't think you're taking into account the WWE speed matches online. I think that's something that a metric that is why you're off base here. I guess maybe, dude, like Barney the dinosaur and that shit survived forever. And that's brutal for little kids, right? Like it just keeps going and going and going downhill in the quality of and the writing and even the simple storytelling of how you need to get somebody over. We'll talk about the Sami Zayn stuff, and it just none of it makes any sense in the history of how things are produced. But yeah, here the numbers are more fanatical, the ticket prices are higher. But I don't know, man, with the bad PR that's here or is coming or going to be swept under the rug, it's a crazy whirlwind of questions right now. And I don't know why they're doing as good as they are based on more awesome Seth Rollins punches and shit like that from last night, So I am just more than thankful. I want to show how grateful I am actually. The show is only 2 hours right now. That's the thing. I can't.
Turns out doesn't feel like it right now.
Yeah. No, you go back to 3, you'll be begging for 2. It's going from solitary confinement back to Gen Pop.
Stevie, I related to, like you got a favorite band and a band's on fire. Then all of a sudden they release a new album that's it's not as great as their other albums. Then they release one after that now it's mediocre. Then you get to the third album and now I'm not buying that one. That's what I'm equating this to, Stevie. Or am I totally off base?
Third album, they replaced the front man.
The third album, yeah. So am I totally off base about? I mean, bro, I'm looking at the people in that crowd yesterday. You can count the kids. I mean, it's all we know who that fan base is, and I'm just like, does it, Stevie? Does it just not matter what they put on out there?
Well, it's a mix of that. I mean, it's a mix of the wrestling fans. Then they should thank they're lucky stars each and every day that the wrestling fans are the most forgiving and the most tenacious out of any fan base. They show up, and we show up every week. Well, maybe we'll get a good show. It's almost like chasing that old high from good shows, and you're just trying years and decades later to still hit that. Dude, my wife said, before I go to watch these shows, it's a mixture between two memes. The sad Keanu Reeves as I'm sitting on the bench in my garage gym, getting ready to come into the apartment and watch. Then when I walk into the bedroom to watch the shows, I legitimately lean against the doorway, only without the cigarette, doing the Ben Affleck, like every single week. Yeah. And that's not me being like sticking my nose up like a snob or anything. It's just like, I said it before, we could tell the fans we watched the show, just guess what happened for 3 weeks and be at least 80% correct. Because we know the pattern, especially going in the Survivor Series. We can miss everything up to the pay-per-view and the Monday after. Okay, here we go, Royal Rumble time. Now we're going to start this whole cycle.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. It's like that's why I'm looking at this. But let's look at what they've got in their back pocket. In their back pocket, they got The Rock. They got The Rock from like Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. In their back pocket, Stevie, they got they got John Cena's farewell tour for a year. So they have that stuff, bro, in their back pocket. So that's why I'm looking at, okay, bro, you're coasting with absolute shit right now, but they know that they have that stuff in their back pocket.
Yeah, but when does it get to the point where even Rock becomes played out and been there, done that, seen that, the whole thing? The Cena retirement tour, I figured that'd be like a once a month thing, at least on TV. We haven't seen him. Is that going to be the special? Is he going to be the fifth guy or something like weird like that at Survivor Series, or are going to wait till Rumble? Like this retirement tour, I haven't seen him. I figured he'd be working the guys he always wanted to work in the last year.
Yeah.
And have you seen him?
Yeah.
I was just looking for him. He wasn't in the back either. Yeah, dude. Get me a kid count, Deuce. We need that.
Guys, I got to ask you a question, man, about one thing on this show. We're not going to run through this big bag of shit. Bailey against Francine LaRue. Yeah, I'm going to spend 2 seconds of my time on that.
Wait a second. This is the episode. Yep, this is the episode where Dakota Kai gets her revenge.
That's Monday. Yeah, that's Raw. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was so excited. I was doing the Trump when Dakota Kai came back on the screen. I got to ask you guys a question. Randy Orton is a pro through and through. One of the few bona fide superstars on this show, without a shadow of a doubt. There's probably 5, and he's one of them. So they do this injury angle, okay? And the pile driver looks like absolute shit. And now he's shelved for a couple of weeks. I love Stevie. They keep shelving people because they don't know what to do with them creatively. Drew McIntyre's shelved. CM Punk is shelved. Now we got Randy. When they don't know what to do with these people, they put them on the shelf. So, Ben, here's my question. That pile driver was horrible. Absolutely horrible. His neck came nowhere near the mat. So they're supposed to do an injury angle off of this. Bro, if you're Orton, do you call an audible because you know it looks so bad and now you got to do an injury angle off of this and you got to be out for a couple of weeks and it's going to make you look bad because the pile driver looked bad? I mean, and Ben, if you're in that spot as a talent, do you freaking call an audible or do you play this off like, yeah, bro, this is the injury that shelved Randy Orton for a month?
Are you asking me to call an audible in the ring right when the spot happens? Right
there when both wrestlers know the spot was shit.
Yeah, well, I'd say he's got to get more heat on me. So we are at a pull apart already. He's just got to fight through it and come over and stomp me on the head and neck a couple times because that looked bad, right? Like to know that we got to get more heat than that. And Randy could have made that call there. There is something to be said for going back to 1985, and that move's banned, and now we're selling one move. Meanwhile, Hangman's doing reverse taker on the apron, and it's a roll until they get to the fucking next spot. You're just like, okay, so now we're gonna put the genie back in the bottle, you know what I mean, and act like just because he sold this one thing, maybe we can make anything believable. Anything can be a finish. And the fact that the Samoans don't use headbutts is fucking befuddling to me, bro. Like, it's established. It's an easy finish. You can get on anybody, and it's only for Samoans, and they don't do it. This with the Lawler pile driver controversy that they're trying to do and bring back, I don't mind it. But yeah, your answer there is get more heat on me right there, because otherwise we just expose the business. And that's the deal we make with the crowd. We're on the high wire. Not everything is going to land in a fucking 10 out of 10 Olympics rating, you know, and this is no matter how good you are. I'm sure Kevin was trying to protect Randy, and that could lead to why it wasn't as good as they would have liked it to have been.
Yeah. Stevie, how would you have handled this?
Well, I would have told him to do it again, because then on the pay-per-view package or B-roll or whatever, they can cut that take out. Even if it's live, do it again, because you're a heel. So a second pile driver to try to hurt somebody, and then just use the one that was right. I would say this too. Randy Orton, I mean, they did joke he's like 275 to 290. Like, the dude's a monster. And this goes into, if you cannot do a move properly and safely to somebody, or everybody for that matter, you just don't do it. He protected him, but it looked like absolute crap. And I don't know how they get away from it. He didn't even grab him, pick him up. And all you got to do is do the Orndorff thing, where you land either on one ass cheek or back towards the top of your butt, and he doesn't hit, but just the jumping a little bit off the mat and hitting the pile driver. Even when Lawler did it, even when Funk did it to Flair, and Flair's doing a handstand push-up on the mat back in WCW, it still looked like he did that. This looked like literally he fell back and Randy rolled over him, like almost like a pinning attempt or something.